Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak English in the USA, the podcast that helps you understand and speak real American English in everyday life. I'm Alex.
And I'm Taylor. Today we have a really important topic for you. We're going to teach you about visiting the doctor and talking about health in English.
That's right. In this episode, you'll learn common phrases Americans use at doctor's offices. We'll teach you how to make appointments, describe your symptoms, and talk to doctors and nurses.
This is so useful for daily life in America. Let's get started.
So, Taylor, when do Americans usually go to the doctor?
Well, Alex, people go to the doctor when they're feeling sick. Maybe they have a cough that won't go away, or a headache, or they feel very tired.
Right. And they also go for checkups, even when they feel fine. Now let's learn some important vocabulary. The first word is appointment.
Appointment. This means a scheduled time to see the doctor. You can't just walk in. You need to call and make an appointment first.
Next is symptoms. These are the things that tell you something is wrong with your body, like a fever or a sore throat.
Another word is a checkup. This is when you visit the doctor to make sure you're healthy even if you feel fine.
We also have prescription. This is a paper the doctor gives you for medicine, and pharmacy is the place where you buy that medicine.
And finally, pain. This means something hurts, like I have pain in my back or my head has pain.
Perfect. Now let's hear some real conversations. First, let's listen to someone talking to the receptionist when they arrive at the doctor's office. Before we move on to conversations, let's learn some more important healthcare vocabulary that you'll hear all the time in American doctor's offices.
I'll be the receptionist and Alex will be the patient. Let's listen to the conversation.
Absolutely. Let's start with insurance. This is very important in America. Insurance is what helps you pay for medical care. The doctor's office will always ask, "Do you have insurance?" Good morning. How can I help you?
Next is copay or co-payment. This is the money you pay when you visit the doctor. It's usually between $20 to $50, depending on your insurance. Hi, I have an appointment with Dr. Johnson at 10:30.
Another important word is allergies. These are things that make your body react badly, like peanuts or medicine. The doctor will always ask, "Do you have any allergies?"
Perfect. What's your name, please?
We also have blood pressure. This measures how hard your heart is working. The nurse will say, "I need to check your blood pressure," and put a cuff on your arm. My name is Michael Smith.
Temperature is another word you'll hear a lot. This means how hot your body is. Normal temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's higher, you have a fever. Great. Please have a seat in the waiting room. The doctor will see you soon.
And don't forget follow-up. This means coming back to see the doctor again. The doctor might say, "Please schedule a follow-up appointment in 2 weeks." Thank you.
Perfect. Now, before people can visit the doctor, they usually need to call and make an appointment. Let's practice a phone conversation for scheduling a doctor's visit. Now, let's repeat that conversation slowly so you can understand every word.
Great idea. I'll be the patient calling, and Taylor will be the receptionist. This is a very common situation. Let's listen.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Good morning, Dr. Wilson's office. How can I help you?
Hi, I have an appointment with Dr. Johnson at 10:30. Hi, I'd like to schedule an appointment with Dr. Wilson. I haven't been feeling well lately.
Notice how the patient says, "I have an appointment." This is the most common way to check in. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Right, and the receptionist asks for the name to find you in the computer. Now let's listen to the second conversation between a patient and doctor. My name is Sarah Johnson, and my birthday is March 15th, 1985.
This time, I'll be the doctor, and Alex will be the patient with some symptoms.
Thank you. What kind of symptoms are you having? This helps the doctor know how urgent your visit needs to be.
Hello, Michael. What brings you in today?
I've had a persistent headache for about 5 days, and I'm feeling really tired all the time. I also have some stomach pain. Hi, Dr. Johnson. I'm not feeling well. I have a really bad cough and a sore throat.
I understand. Let me check our schedule. We have an opening tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., or we have Friday at 9 a.m. Which works better for you?
I see. How long have you had these symptoms?
Tomorrow at 2:30 would be perfect. Thank you so much. I've had this cough for about 3 days, and I also have a headache, and I feel very tired.
Great. I have you scheduled for tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. with Dr. Wilson. Please arrive 15 minutes early to fill out paperwork, and remember to bring your insurance card and ID.
Do you have a fever?
That was a great example. Let's break down the important phrases from that phone call. Yes, I think so. I feel hot and cold at the same time.
The most important phrase is, "I'd like to schedule an appointment." This is the standard way Americans ask for a doctor's appointment over the phone. It sounds like you have a cold or maybe the flu. I'm going to give you a prescription for some medicine.
Notice how the receptionist always asks for your name and date of birth? This is for security and to find your medical records in their computer system. Do I need medicine? Where should I go to get it?
Also, be ready to briefly describe your symptoms. This helps them know if you need to come in right away or if it can wait a few days. Use simple, clear language. Yes, this will help you feel better. You can pick it up at any pharmacy. There's one next to our building.
Thank you, doctor.
Great conversation. Let's go through the important parts slowly.
The doctor asked, "What brings you in today?" This means, "Why are you here?" or "What's the problem?"
Right, and the patient said, "I'm not feeling well." This is a very common way to start explaining your symptoms.
The patient also said, "I've had this cough for 3 days." Notice the grammar. "I've had" shows the time period.
Now let's break down the most important phrases you need to know when visiting a doctor.
I'm not feeling well. Americans use this all the time when they're sick.
Yeah, it's more polite than just saying "I'm sick." Next is "I have a sore throat." Sore means painful.
Another important one is, "I've had this cough for 3 days." You can change 3 days to a week or 2 days.
Do I need medicine is a simple question patients ask, and "where is the pharmacy" helps you find where to buy medicine.
These phrases are natural, and Americans use them every day. Remember, speak clearly and don't be afraid to ask the doctor to repeat something.
Ready? I'm not feeling well.
I have an appointment.
My throat hurts.
And finally, I need to see a doctor.
Excellent job, everyone. Now, let me share an important cultural tip about visiting doctors in the United States. In America, you almost always need to make an appointment first. You can't just walk in. Call the office and tell them your symptoms, and they'll give you a time to come in.
That's right. And always bring your insurance card and ID. Also, be ready to describe your symptoms clearly, like we practiced today.
One more thing, pharmacies are separate from doctors' offices. After your visit, you'll take your prescription to a pharmacy to buy the medicine.
All right, everyone, let's quickly review what you learned today. You learned how to check in at a doctor's office by saying, "I have an appointment." Before we finish today's lesson, let's talk about different types of doctors you might need to visit in America. There are general doctors and specialists.
You also learned how to describe symptoms using phrases like "I'm not feeling well," "I have a sore throat," and
"I've had this cough for 3 days."
That's right. A general doctor is called a primary care physician or family doctor. They handle common health problems like colds, checkups, and basic medical needs.
Remember to practice these phrases. Use them the next time you need to visit a doctor. Don't be afraid to speak English. Doctors and nurses want to help you. Specialists focus on specific parts of the body. For example, a cardiologist treats heart problems, a dermatologist treats skin issues, and an orthopedist treats bones and joints.
That's all for today's episode of Speak English in the USA. If you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe to our channel for more real-life English conversations.
Usually, you see your primary care doctor first, and if needed, they will give you a referral to see a specialist. A referral is like a recommendation letter.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Other common specialists include an ophthalmologist for eye problems, a psychiatrist for mental health, and a gynecologist for women's health. Don't worry about pronouncing these perfectly. You can just say eye doctor or women's doctor.
Bye, everyone. We should also talk about emergency situations. If you have a serious medical emergency, you should go to the emergency room or ER at a hospital immediately.
Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep using these phrases in real situations. Examples of emergencies include chest pain, difficulty breathing, severe injuries, or unconsciousness. For these situations, call 911 or go to the nearest hospital emergency room right away.
For problems that aren't emergencies but can't wait for a regular appointment, there are urgent care centers. These handle things like minor cuts, sprains, or sudden illness when your regular doctor isn't available.
Another important topic is medical paperwork. When you visit a new doctor, you'll need to fill out forms with your personal information, medical history, and current medications.
Don't worry if you don't understand every word on the forms. You can always ask the receptionist for help. Common questions include, what medications do you take? And, do you have any allergies to medications?
They will also ask about your family medical history. This means health problems that your parents, grandparents, or siblings have had. This helps doctors understand your health risks.
Let's also talk about understanding medical bills in America, because this can be very confusing for people from other countries.
When you have insurance, you usually pay a small amount called a copay when you visit. The insurance company pays the rest. You might receive a bill later called an explanation of benefits, or EOB.
An EOB is not a bill you need to pay. It just shows what the insurance company paid and what you owe. If you don't understand a medical bill, call the doctor's office billing department. They can explain it to you.
Now let's practice some more common health problems and how to describe them to your doctor. These are situations you might experience in real life.
Let's start with back pain. You might say, I have lower back pain, or my back has been hurting for 2 weeks. You can also say, the pain gets worse when I sit, or it hurts more in the morning.
I have an upset stomach, or my stomach hurts after I eat. If you feel like you might vomit, say, I feel nauseous, or I have been throwing up.
For sleep problems, you might say, I can't fall asleep, or I wake up several times during the night. For stress or anxiety, you can say, I've been feeling very stressed, or I feel anxious all the time.
Here's a helpful tip. Before your appointment, write down your symptoms in English. Include when they started, how often they happen, and what makes them better or worse. This will help you remember everything during your visit.
Finally, let's talk about what happens after your doctor visit. The doctor will give you instructions about taking care of yourself at home. These are called discharge instructions or aftercare instructions.
If you don't understand the instructions, always ask the doctor or nurse to explain them again. You can say, "Could you please repeat that?" Or, "I want to make sure I understand correctly."
When the doctor prescribes medicine, make sure you understand how to take it. Important questions to ask are, how many pills do I take? How often do I take them? And should I take them with food?